Hello, I'm Scott Kennedy. Tell us about yourself is sort of a broad remit, but I like to talk about myself, so I can probably do that for a few minutes. I grew up in Northern California, rural Northern California, which is relevant to this, I think, because up through my teenage years, I was very involved in the local volunteer fire department, which was a very rural fire department, and driving trucks around and worrying about fires and fighting on a couple of wildfires and working on fuel reduction. That was all a big part of my early life. And just thinking about the landscape, and as I got older, modeling that landscape and so forth, was a big part of my early life. And then I moved away. I went to UC. I became involved in applied mathematics. I think this is relevant because as you look through my resume or as I talk about things I've worked on, it sort of feels like there's probably a wide range of interests and industries I've worked in. To me, it's all been applied mathematics and a little bit of computer science and a lot of statistics, which I put in the applied mathematics, but not everybody does. So to me, it's just been taking a set of tools and ideas and concepts that I love deeply, culminating in machine learning and using them in different contexts. So I worked in bioinformatics and on the Human Genome Project for a while. I got recruited to work on some internet security in the heyday of the internet, and it turned out that that's also big, messy, almost biological data sets. That was a lot of fun. That company got bought by Cisco. I worked in some computer vision stuff for a while. I went back and worked in internet security, working on modeling human behavior or identifying phishing attacks by looking at models of human behavior and geographic distributions of where we expect messages, emails to come from and go, and what makes sense geospatially and what doesn't. And a little bit of physics modeling and how you can use machine learning to make better decisions about physics simulation, because they're very expensive and slow if you make bad decisions. And then at some point, I got involved with a few old friends that had worked in geospatial worlds and landscape management and climate and wildfire resilience modeling in Northern California, where I grew up. I forget if I mentioned that. And they'd been doing that for decades, and it was really fun to get back together and sort of feel like I was joining these two parts of my life again. The interest in forest management and wildfires and hanging out with volunteer fire people finally was able to merge with my skills building cloud architectures for machine learning and pipelines with big data sets and simulation and modeling. So it's been really a joy over the last couple of years to bring those two things together and work to support fire departments, people working on wildfire reduction. I go to conferences and I meet people that work on wildfire modeling and insurance and love talking with them. It's a really neat space for me to be in now. And I feel like I'm right sort of at the heart of a lot of the stuff you're looking at. So I'd love to chat some more and see if that's actually true.